What's the first thing you're going to do when the lights go out for good? No, really, stop and answer it. Because the brutal truth is that whatever your brain screams at you to do in that first 10 seconds is probably the exact move that will wreck you faster than the blackout itself. That's not paranoia. That's human wiring. History proves it. In every major outage on record, from the 2003 Northeast blackout that trapped 50 million people in sweltering cities, to Puerto Rico's near-year-long grid collapse after Hurricane Maria, to the 2021 Texas freeze that killed over 240 Americans in their own homes, the common thread isn't just infrastructure failure, it's human failure. Ordinary people doing ordinary things, following instincts that felt right but turned deadly in hours. And here's the kicker. Odds are you'd do the same. Because blackouts don't kill you in one dramatic strike. They bleed you out through bad decisions, the fridge you opened too often, the candle you left burning, the gas you wasted on a generator party, the complacency that told you, this'll be over soon. That's what experts call the blackout instinct, the comforting lies your brain tells you in the dark, the little habits you cling to that make you feel safe but quietly push you closer to danger. And almost everyone does it. Doesn't matter if you're rich or broke, suburban or city, prepper or not. The grid collapses and human nature kicks in, whispering all the wrong moves straight into your ear. So ask yourself, when everything stops, no fridge hum, no AC, no Wi-Fi, no gas pumps, no flushing toilets, will you have the clarity to fight those instincts, or will you join the millions who always assume the lights are about to flicker back on, right before reality crushes them? Because this video isn't about the blackout itself. It's about the mistakes that happen in the first hour, the fatal errors almost everyone makes, and how to make damn sure you're not the one lying to yourself in the dark. Mistake number 10. Rating the fridge like it's your last meal on Earth. The first thing almost everyone does when the lights flicker out is stumble toward the fridge like it's going to explain what just happened. They yank it open, grab a soda, maybe a leftover slice of pizza, or just stare blankly inside because that's what we do when we're nervous. We snack. But here's the dangerous truth. Every time you open that door, you're destroying the very lifeline that could keep you and your family alive for days. Refrigerators are basically insulated boxes designed to trap cold air, and when the power dies, that box has a countdown clock attached. The USDA estimates a fridge keeps food safe for 4 hours without power, a freezer about 48, if you never open them. Open it once, you slash hours off that timeline. Open it 10 times? You might as well throw half your food directly in the trash. And spoiled food isn't just waste, it's lethal. The CDC reports that foodborne illness already sickens 48 million Americans a year, even with refrigeration. In a blackout with emergency rooms overwhelmed and stores bare, a simple case of salmonella becomes a survival crisis. During Katrina, shelters were hit with waves of food poisoning because desperate families clung to bad meat and dairy. The smart move is discipline. Make an inventory list immediately, tape it to the outside, and seal that door shut. Eat perishables strategically. Dairy first, meat second, frozen last. Have coolers and frozen bottles of water on standby to extend shelf life. Because in a long blackout, the fridge isn't a convenience. It's the final fortress of calories between you and starvation. Treat it like one. Mistake number 9. Lighting up the wrong way and burning down the house. Here's a blackout fact that should scare you straight. According to the National Fire Protection Association, candles spark more than 7,600 house fires every single year, and power outages are one of the biggest triggers. The second the room plunges into darkness, people instinctively reach for that old drawer of wax sticks, birthday candles, dusty votives, or the decorative jar candle that hasn't been touched since 2012. One strike of a match, one careless placement near curtains, stacks of mail, or even on top of a TV, and suddenly your problem isn't a blackout. It's a full-scale inferno in a neighborhood where the fire department might already be delayed or completely offline. It happened during the 2003 Northeast blackout. Multiple families lost their homes not to darkness, but to the flames they lit trying to fight it. And the light from candles isn't even effective. It's dim, flickering, and leaves you stumbling in shadows. Meanwhile, LED lanterns can run 100+ hours on a single set of batteries. Solar yard lights? Free charging every day, reliable all night. Crank flashlights? Infinite use if you've got the stamina. Yet people still cling to candles, trading safety for nostalgia. The smart move is redundancy. LED lanterns in every main room, headlamps for mobility, solar lights brought in at dusk. If you must use a candle, put it in a deep glass jar on a solid, non-flammable surface, never unattended, never near kids or pets. The tragedy is that thousands of families every year survive the storm, survive the blackout, only to lose everything to one stupid, avoidable flame. Don't be a statistic. Mistake number 8. Treating the blackout like an accidental vacation. This is the sneakiest and deadliest instinct of all. Pretending a blackout is just a quirky break from normal life. You grab a beer, kick your feet up, and tell yourself it'll be back in an hour. You scroll your phone while the battery drains, maybe light a candle or two, and laugh it off like it's a snow day. But this is how you waste the single most critical window of time, the first hour. Disaster psychology has a name for this: normalcy bias. It's the mental trap that tells you, this is temporary, things always go back to normal. That exact bias killed thousands during Katrina, when residents stayed home until floodwaters forced rooftop rescues. In a blackout, normalcy bias convinces you to sit tight instead of filling water containers before the taps dry, charging devices before towers go down, or hitting the store before shelves empty. Here's the hard math. The average American household has just 3 days of food, much of it perishable. Cities hold maybe 5 days' worth in their supply chain. Once panic buying begins, it's gone in hours. After Hurricane Maria, Puerto Ricans waited up to 8 hours in line for bottled water just 1 day into the crisis. Treating the first hours like vacation time means you'll be at the back of that line, thirsty, unprepared, and already in crisis. The right move? The second the lights go out, assume 72 hours minimum without power. Fill every tub, pitcher, and bottle with water. Cook perishables in order. Check on vulnerable neighbors before the roads clog. If you must get supplies, do it now, not after everyone else realizes what you already should have. Blackouts aren't days off. They're survival clocks ticking faster than you think. Mistake number 7. Draining your generator like you're powering a rock concert. The moment the grid sputters out, the generator suddenly feels like a magic button. Instant power, instant comfort, instant superiority over everyone else fumbling in the dark. And that's exactly where people sabotage themselves. They fire it up and keep it running non-stop like they've got an oil refinery in the backyard. The fridge, the lights, the TV, the microwave, even the coffee maker, all humming away as though the blackout is just a minor hiccup. But here's the brutal math. A standard 5000-watt portable generator burns about 3/4 of a gallon of gas every single hour under moderate load. Run that puppy 24 hours a day, and you're looking at over 18 gallons per day. Most households don't have anywhere near that in storage. And when the gas runs out, guess what? Stations can't pump without electricity either. After Hurricane Sandy, desperate New Yorkers waited in gas lines for 6 hours only to find the tanks bone dry. Your generator doesn't make you invincible. It makes you dependent on a fuel supply that disappears faster than bottled water in a heat wave. And worse, it can kill you. The CDC says generator-related carbon monoxide poisoning kills dozens of Americans every year, people running them in garages, basements, or too close to windows. You won't see it, you won't smell it, but it will put you to sleep permanently in minutes. The smart play? Ration it. Run in short, strategic bursts, enough to chill the fridge, charge battery banks, and power essential medical equipment. Store gas safely in approved containers, rotated regularly so it doesn't go stale. And for the love of survival, run it at least 20 feet from your home with a battery-powered CO detector inside. Treat it like a bridge, not a lifestyle. Burn through it like you're hosting Woodstock, and you'll be left in silence, broke, and begging for fuel that isn't coming. Mistake number 6. Leaving your windows and doors like you're broadcasting free stuff inside. This one's as old as human history. The second the lights go out, the wolves come sniffing. And yet, countless people treat a blackout like it's just another summer night, windows cracked for a breeze, blinds wide open, doors unlocked because it's a safe neighborhood. Safe when the grid is alive, maybe. But when the streetlights go dark, when the security cameras and alarm systems are dead, when the cops are stretched thin across a city blanketed in chaos, your house is suddenly an invitation. Just look at the 1977 New York City blackout. Within hours, looting and arson swept the boroughs. 1,600 stores trashed. 3,700 arrests in one night. That's not ancient history. It's human behavior when desperation meets opportunity. Even in smaller outages, burglary spikes because darkness is free camouflage. And remember, if the blackout drags into days, grocery stores run bare, ATMs freeze up, and desperation sharpens. Don't assume your neighbors will all stay civil. During the 2003 Northeast blackout, police reports showed petty theft and break-ins tripled in some areas within the first 48 hours. The mistake here isn't just unlocked doors, it's broadcasting light inside your home when everything outside is pitch black, turning your house into a glowing target. The fix is simple but urgent. The moment power drops, lock every door and window. Yes, even the nobody uses that ones. Draw blinds or cover windows with heavy blankets to conceal light. If you've got solar or battery-powered motion lights, put them at entry points. Better yet, talk to your neighbors now, not later. The safest blocks during every major outage aren't the richest. They're the ones where residents already had an informal watch. In the dark, community is security. Pretend otherwise, and you're gambling with more than your fridge full of food. You're gambling with everything under your roof. Mistake number 5, burning through batteries like they're Halloween candy. The lights blink out, and what's the first thing you do? Grab every flashlight, lantern, and gadget in the house and fire them up like you're opening a pop-up Best Buy in your living room. You leave every light blazing, crank the lantern to max brightness, let the kids wander with flashlights in every room, and by midnight your house looks like an LED carnival in a sea of blacked-out neighbors. Feels safe, right? Wrong. What you just did is torch your most irreplaceable survival currency, batteries. And here's the nightmare. Once they're gone, they're gone. No recharge stations, no quick Target run, no Amazon Prime. The Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, recommends having a minimum 72-hour supply of batteries for sustained light, yet surveys show fewer than 15% of U.S. households actually meet that standard. And remember, an average LED flashlight chews through AA batteries in about 6-8 hours of continuous use. Multiply that by a whole family blasting lights around the clock, and your stash evaporates by day 2. During the 2003 Northeast blackout, entire cities sold out of every AA, AAA, and D cell within hours, leaving millions literally in the dark. Once you're out, you're back to candles. And we already covered how that ends. The fix? Ruthless conservation. One lantern in the main room, headlamps for mobility, task lighting only when needed. Stockpile rechargeables and keep solar chargers or crank lights in reserve. Store batteries correctly in cool, dry conditions and rotate stock so you're not depending on a corroded pack from 2014. Tape spare sets directly to devices so you're never fumbling in the dark. Batteries aren't toys in a blackout. They are survival chips in a game where the house is rigged against you. Burn through them early, and you'll lose the one thing more terrifying than darkness: the ability to control it. Mistake number 4, forgetting that refrigeration is a one-way clock. The cruelest trick a blackout plays is how deceptively normal your fridge feels in the first few hours. It's still cold inside, your milk feels fine, the leftovers look good, so you assume you've got plenty of time. But refrigeration doesn't freeze time. The second the power dies, your food is on a one-way clock to contamination. According to the USDA, anything perishable sitting above 40 degrees Fahrenheit for more than 2 hours is in the danger zone, where bacteria like Salmonella, Listeria, and E. coli multiply like wildfire. And here's the nightmare. You can't smell it, you can't see it, but it can still kill you. During Hurricane Katrina, thousands of evacuees were stricken with food poisoning because families gambled on half-warmed meat and dairy. In Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria, officials had to run radio announcements begging residents to toss suspicious food because emergency rooms were overwhelmed with cases of preventable foodborne illness. And yet, Time after time, people keep just checking the fridge, bleeding out cold air like fools, or worse, eating suspect food because it still feels cool. By the time you realize the mistake, your only hospital is 2 hours away with a line wrapped around the block. The fix? Treat the fridge like a vault. The moment power drops, consolidate perishables into the coldest section of the freezer. Keep a thermometer inside so you know the actual temperature, not just how it feels to the touch. Eat perishables in order of sensitivity. Milk and seafood first, meat second, frozen goods last. Better yet, have coolers prepped with frozen water bottles or ice packs so you can transfer essentials without opening the main fridge. Blackouts are ruthless tests of discipline. Food safety isn't about being picky, it's about survival. Because in the dark, the difference between a little warm and too far gone is the line between dinner and disaster. Mistake number 3. Cooking indoors with outdoor equipment. Every blackout has its grim headlines, and one of the most consistent killers isn't looting, starvation, or even hypothermia. It's people poisoning themselves with their own survival instincts. The power goes out, and suddenly folks get creative. They drag a charcoal grill into the garage, fire up a propane camping stove in the kitchen, or even try to run a little hibachi on the living room floor. Their logic? Keep the heat in, keep the smoke contained, cook a hot meal for the family. But what they're actually doing is transforming their home into a gas chamber. Charcoal, propane, and wood stoves produce carbon monoxide, CO, a colorless, odorless gas that suffocates you from the inside out. You won't see it, you won't smell it, but it will kill you before you even realize what's happening. The CDC estimates over 400 Americans die every year from accidental CO poisoning, and thousands more are hospitalized, numbers that spike immediately after every major power outage. During the 2021 Texas freeze, entire families were found dead in their homes after running grills indoors for warmth. And it doesn't just kill you. CO seeps through walls, vents, and floors, endangering neighbors or upstairs tenants who never lit a thing. Add in the fire risk, open flames plus confined spaces plus flammable household junk, and you've set the stage for disaster on 2 fronts. The fix is uncompromising. Outdoor equipment stays outside, period. At least 20 feet from doors, windows, and vents. No exceptions. If you must cook indoors, invest in gear designed for it. Canned heat, sterno, alcohol stoves, or small electric hot plates powered by battery banks or a generator in short bursts. Keep a battery-powered CO detector running 24/7 in your home. Cheap insurance against a silent killer. In a blackout, feeding your family shouldn't mean gambling with their lives. Cook smart, or the meal you're preparing might be your last. Mistake number 2. Ignoring temperature control until it's too late. Most people think the scariest thing about a blackout is the dark. Wrong. The real killer is temperature, and your own laziness in dealing with it before it's too late. The human body isn't built to tolerate extremes. Too hot, and you slip into heat stroke. Too cold, and hypothermia sets in. Both can kill within hours, and both sneak up faster than you think. During the 2021 Texas freeze, over 240 people died, many freezing to death inside their own homes. In the 1995 Chicago heat wave, more than 700 people died in less than a week, mostly elderly, isolated, and unprepared. And here's the brutal truth. Without climate control, your house will quickly drift toward outside temperatures. In winter, it can plunge below freezing in under a day. In summer, the indoor thermometer can climb to triple digits by afternoon. The fatal mistake? Doing nothing in those precious first hours. People leave windows cracked in the cold for air, or blinds wide open in the summer for light. They wait until they're already shivering or drenched in sweat to gather blankets or set up fans. By then, the house itself is working against them, and recovery takes 10 times the energy they don't have. The fix is immediate action. In cold, trap heat, close blinds, cover windows with heavy blankets, seal off 1 or 2 rooms with towels or plastic sheeting, and confine everyone together to maximize body heat. Layer clothing and use safe heat sources sparingly. In heat, block sun, close blinds, hang reflective foil, and only open windows at night to pull in cooler air, shutting them before dawn to trap it. Use battery fans to circulate air and stay hydrated. Don't wait until the temperature swings become unbearable. Act before they do. Because in a blackout, climate control isn't about comfort. It's about survival. Mistake number 1. Treating the first hour like free time instead of your only head start. If there's one mistake that kills more unprepared people than any other, it's this: wasting the first hour. That first 60 minutes is gold. It's the only window you'll ever have when conditions are still calm, resources are still available, and daylight might still be on your side. And yet, what do most people do? Absolutely nothing. They light a candle for ambiance, scroll through their phones until the battery's half gone, or stand at the window waiting for the lights to flicker back on. They assume it's temporary. They assume they'll have time. But history shows otherwise. During the 2003 Northeast blackout, within 3 hours, gas stations were gridlocked, ATMs were offline, and store shelves were already stripped. In Puerto Rico, after Hurricane Maria, water lines stretched for miles within a single day. Once panic sets in, you're done. You're just another body in the crowd begging for scraps. The solution is ruthless speed. The second the lights die, act like they're not coming back for 72 hours minimum. Fill every sink, tub, and pitcher with water before the taps run dry. Charge every phone, battery, and power bank while you still can. Eat perishables in priority order, check on vulnerable neighbors, and if you need last-minute supplies, go now, not later. Cash in hand, because card readers won't work. That first hour is the razor-thin margin between control and chaos. Use it well, and you'll be the one calmly sipping clean water while everyone else fights over the last case of bottled spring at the gas station. Waste it, and you'll be standing in the same line, cursing yourself in the dark. In a blackout, you don't win by waiting. You win by moving before anyone else realizes the game has already started.